In Escondido, an Army veteran known for his large Trump displays and American flags outside his home has died.
He was brutally attacked last week, with the suspect allegedly beating him and then stomping on his head before a witness stepped in. Our Sarah Barker spoke with the victim's wife and has more.
Right now, I don't know what I don't can say anything, only I feel a lot of pain in my heart. That's it.
Maria Sharon dealing with the heartbreaking loss of her husband, Kerry Sharon, a 69-year-old Army veteran.
Kerry was a Trump supporter, but he was a patriot first. And he was a strong believer in freedom of speech. And when people would approach him and give him any guff over his opinions, he didn't let it get under his skin. He would just say they're entitled to their free speech just like I am.
Kerry died from his injuries Sunday night after being attacked last week outside of his Escondido home. Known for its large American flag displays and supporting President Donald Trump.
If you don't agree, it doesn't give you the right to vandalize or do violence, and that goes both sides.
Thank you.
There's too much violence, so it's a sad day.
God bless Kerry. God bless Maria.
Now friends and neighbors are standing outside.
So I'm gonna pause this here for a second because I'm gonna just say this, and I just said we're not going to a bad place, but I take that back. This I don't like where things are going in a lot of different ways, but what I really don't like is how we've reached a place where when two sides don't agree on something philosophically, without laying hands on each other, how did we get to the point where we start laying hands on each other? I don't understand that, right? So I'm looking at this, right? So Escondido is SoCal. And it's apparent this was the Trump flag guy. Like, he probably had not Trump flag, but American flag guy. Had American flags all over his house. He's a former veteran. And, he rode with Trump. He's a Trump rider. Okay, cool, whatever. Apparently half the country is. But here's my thing. I don't even know the whole story. I haven't seen the whole video. All right? I'm going to side with the guy who got killed. And here's why. I'm not a Trump fan. I'm not a Trump guy, right? I don't believe we should be taking shots at the president. I'll tell you that. I don't believe he should be assassinated. Ridiculous. I disagree with his policies. I disagree with what I feel are attacks on my civil liberties and my rights as an American, but that's what I think, and I'm uncomfortable with it, so I'll speak at the ballot box. That's the end of that, right? I'll speak at the local election. I'll speak at the primaries. I'll speak at the federal election. That's where I exercise my voice. All right. What I won't do is I'm not going to get on every possible platform or at every opportunity and get in somebody's face and tell them that they're wrong. Because I would hate for somebody to tell me that all the time. All right. So this guy, this family, rest in peace to this guy. He clearly an avid fan of the country and Trump. All right, bet. That's his thing. That's his hill. And he's very, very vocal and visual about it. Okay, bet. Already fought for our country, so respect. So that already should give him a certain level of respect. So somebody goes by his house, gets into an altercation with him. And the reason I'm already going to side with the victim and not fall into that whole camp of, well, we need to know what happened first. We need to know what happened first. What were they talking about? What did the other guy do? What did the victim do? Not going for that. I'm not falling for that. And the reason I'm not is because they said the way he died was he got beat up and stomped out. Stomped out. That is not a battle where people are disagreeing and then it gets a little heated and then fisticuffs are thrown and then an unfortunate situation happens. No, this is where somebody is angry and is trying to make sure that the other person doesn't get up. That's what I'm seeing. That's what it reads to me. I'm not a criminologist, I'm not an officer. I'm not a police psychologist. This is my uneducated everyman take, hot take, right? And this guy was attacked, as the report says, and the report says that he was attacked for, being a Trump fan. That's wild. That is wild. This 69-year-old man, damn near 70-year-old man, lost his life for somebody, for being very vocal about supporting somebody that he believes in. And somebody else said, "No, I'm not feeling that. You don't deserve to be on this planet anymore. One less of you makes the planet better, so I'm going to handle that business." Wow. And that's and the reason I'm saying wow isn't because of the ferocity of the attack or the fact that happened, right? I'm saying wow because we live in a culture now where a not insignificant number of people will applaud that behavior because they have the ability to get online through anonymity and say, "Yeah, props to them, man. Somebody should have done that. One less Trump fan." That's where we are. That's where we are. All right, let's keep going. Crazy to me, right? There's got to be a middle ground. I know people don't, that's not cool to say anymore. No one wants to say the middle ground. Everything has to be in extremes. But not feeling that. I don't feel that.
Of his home, just as he would be doing this Memorial Day weekend.
Used to see him every morning when I'd go pick up grandkids, and I would stop by on the way back and talk to him sometimes.
We've had people drive by, lots of support, and then there's a few that drive by like they act like they're going to run into you, and they're flipping you off, or they're wailing on the horn all angry. And
those people, not the people in this video, those people that they're talking about, let's call it what it is. The Democrats on this side that are engaging in this behavior are not my people. They don't represent what I represent. And I'm not, it's breaking my heart. Because I know the first thing people are going to say on the other side is, well, yeah, the red does, the Trumps, the MAGAs do that too. They're always trolling and agitating and causing problems. Yeah, okay. I agree. But when it escalates to something like this, got to change. Not feeling it. That's why what I said before, I said it in another video, and this is controversial, but I don't care. Is there a thing as too much freedom? I mean, for real. I mean, I'm being really honest with you guys. Is there a thing as too much freedom? So, let me paint a picture for you. If you go to let's say one of those, I forget what those called in California, the really smart kid school. I forget the name of it, but let's say you go to a special school with nothing but gifted students. And the way your teaching methodology encourages freedom of speech, where everyone has a voice and learning is fluid, meaning the learning is adaptable and it is in how we communicate and how we express ourselves and how we interpret the other person and what they're saying. So it is truly free. There is a loose structure that the kids have to follow to learn from, because they have to hit their milestones. But the milestones aren't the cap. The milestones are the baseline. And because of that freedom of expression, the learning can go far beyond what was preset. That's a truly free system, right? A free environment, a free communication, right? Now, that kind of thing only works in a system, in an environment where everybody is gifted and intelligent, curated to be there, right? Selected to be there. So these are the best of the best people, and we want them to mix. Now, what happens if you take that environment and you start adding average and below average kids there? Two things. Thing number one, the average kids and below average kids could be inspired. They could rise up when mixed with these other children. And they could also advance and be elevated. For sure, that could happen. That is the best case scenario. That's the dream, right? This was most likely going to happen, though. These other kids are going to come in and they're going to pollute the environment. They're going to rabble-rouse. They're going to add deconstructive takes, the way they learn and process information because they can't necessarily understand what's happening, is going to limit the amount of learning because they'll hold the others back. All right. So over here, on this side, those kids need a different environment. They need one with more structure, more discipline, and far less freedom. Hot take. I said it before. I'm going to say it again. I don't hate. I do not hate social, what they're doing in China, what they're calling it, the idea of social credits. Keeping that 100%. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Is there such thing as too much freedom? That's not a popular thing to say. It's not. I didn't even think about that for a while because I took the freedom for granted and I only involved myself with people who would be in that elevated class. When you start mixing it up with regular people, though, you start to understand everybody that has a voice ain't got something to say that contributes to the conversation. Some people make the conversation worse. Some people distract from the main point and make everybody suffer. Do we have too much freedom in this country? It's a crazy question. It's a crazy question. Have people proven as a society that we don't know how to act so much with the way we encourage certain behaviors and people wilding out, throwing coffee cups at the workers when they are dissatisfied with the order, or killing this man because he didn't like what he had to say, or I mean, I could just go on TikTok and YouTube and pull out 1,000 different things. Do we have too much freedom? Do we need guardrails? Do we need, I don't want to say parents, because do we need people with smarter voices to enter the room and control the conversation so that everybody can learn and grow? That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. I don't know what y'all think. What y'all think? In your house, for those of you who have kids, do you have rules and structure? I'm not saying be oppressive. I'm saying, do you have rules and structure? Can your child say anything they want to say? Act any old way they want to act? I mean, I know this is a very broad way I'm looking at it. It's not respecting the nuances of how people work, but you get the point. I already know most of you are going to say, nah, man. Of course, you have to structure for your child. You don't restrict. We're not monsters. We're not tyrants. But in order for this child to get the best environment possible to grow and learn? Yeah, of course we do. If that's the case, and most magnify that in your house, but to an entire country of people that are unrestricted and wilding out. You know, here's a hot take. In the Bible, I believe that, in my faith, I don't believe that people are born good. I believe that people are born into sin. When we accept Christ, if you're a Christian, now I don't know how other people do it, but when you accept Christ, that is forgiveness for us. That's an opportunity to, I don't want to say make right, because you can't make right, but to wash that away and get a start over, a do-over card. From that point on, you are doing your best to be Christ-like. We're going to fail because that's in our nature. Why do I say that? Why do I believe? Why do I know that we're born messed up? A lot of people say, hey, you have to be taught bad things. It's not true. It's not true at all. Matter of fact, you and I know, we know it, you know it in your heart, it actually takes more effort to be a good person. It takes more effort to do right by others, to serve other people, to help other people. That's why we applaud good people. That's why we respect and praise good people. Because it takes more work to go out of your way to do something for someone else, to care about somebody else, to take the time out of your schedule, your life, your tunnel vision, to do something that doesn't immediately benefit or gratify you. That's what being good actually is. So now when you tell me people are naturally good, that is our default to be good, to help other people. No, I'm not. I don't believe that at all. Most people's default is to run away, to protect themselves, to look out for themselves, to hide. So when people stand out and do what's right, that is abnormal. That is exemplary. That's what good is. Y'all got me going off on a tangent. Why'd I bring up good? I brought up good because I don't think most of society is good. I don't believe it makes sense to make a system built around assuming that people are good at heart. I don't believe it. Do not believe it. As a matter of fact, I think the evidence shows. That that's not true. Y'all think I'm lying? Am I exaggerating? Look around you. This isn't a doom video, a negative video. I'm just kicking it to you true. I'm telling you the truth as I see it. Susie, you know it. You know it. So if it doesn't work in your home, this complete freedom, if it doesn't work in your home, and you probably have a good child, but you know that it takes effort for them to do the right thing, unless, and here it is, unless you help them by giving them core fundamentals and training. So that when they are placed in an environment where they are more free, they're still following the guidelines that you help set up so they can be a contributing member to society. What are we talking about? Y'all got me worked up. It's 10:24 in the morning. We're supposed to be halfway through this show. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I'm still tripping over the fact that somebody called me Beetlejuice's dad in the other video. I'm like, yo, for real? Oh, man, I'm glad I don't have any vanity like that, because that might have hurt when I was 10. Anyway, let's keep going.
It needs to stop. It needs to stop. You can have a different belief, but you don't have to threaten people, intimidate people.
Even as Maria goes through the pain of losing her husband, she says she feels bad for the suspect's family.
I feeling bad for the mother, you know, for the guy who do that, because
I gotta pause there. That's, man, that touches me a little bit, right? This woman's husband was killed, and she's in pain. She's mourning the loss, but at the same time, and this is how you know people with grace in their hearts. She said she feels bad for the suspect's family, because their lives are now also immediately changed, excuse me, because of the actions of this nutcase. They didn't ask for that. They didn't ask for none of that. So she has compassion in her heart for them too. God, that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm sorry.
for him too, because I ruined his life. Have a kid, have a girlfriend, have a mom. I'm feeling bad for her, but the stuff he do with my husband is terrible.
The suspect, 32-year-old Thomas Butler, pleaded not guilty in court on Friday when he faced charges of attempted murder.
Only when he say
No, he died,
for as a sponsor.
He died, so it's not attempted anymore. It's actual murder, so those charges will certainly be elevated.
And all my friends coming and thank you very much.
I reached out to the district attorney's office to see if any of the suspect's charges will be changed now that the victim has died. We haven't heard back yet, but courts are closed for the Memorial Day holiday. Meantime, I had a chance to talk with more members of the victim's family, and they have started a GoFundMe to help support his wife. One thing she says she's worried about is making sure she can keep the home that they've lived in, as he was the breadwinner. We have a link to that GoFundMe up on our website. Just click the CNON tab. Reporting from Escondido, I'm Zara Barker.
Yeah, so again, lives immediately changed because of the decision of one person who didn't like what another person had to say. That's what we are in this country. Ridiculous. Disgusting. I don't know, y'all. Social credits. Kind of a fan.